first funny thing which I think I did, I got my camera, I got like everything, the batteries and everything. I forgot the memory card in my computer. And it was like so embarrassing. Like I went to my first customer and I asked them to wait. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot the memory card. Let me go and grab it. I went home. It was like 5 minutes away. So I went, I grabbed it. I came back and I just took their pictures. I edited it as best I could and I sent it to them. And the lady was happy with the results. And she said like, I'll pay you, but I don't have my budget right now, so I'll reach out to you when I can. Is it okay if I pay you later?
Welcome to today's Heart of the Hustle. I am here with Waqar Gill from Gill Photography. Welcome.
Thank you, Sherry. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have a fellow photographer in the studio. Tell me how you got into photography.
Long story.
Okay, we got time.
We got time? Okay, that's good. So that all started back, I think like 20, 25, 30 years ago. So my cousin, he got me a Vivitar camera, which is like 2 or 3 megapixels. So I just cleared high school, so he gave me as a gift. So I started taking pictures and was like going for a graphic designing course and stuff. So I was like more into it. So that's how I think I got into it. And it's seeing other friends and family members doing these kind of work, and it just always inspired me. I was like always into arts and creative stuff. So that was like the base where I think I got that from.
Yeah. But you didn't go straight into doing photography full time. Even, you know, you kind of went in a little bit of a different, maybe more practical direction. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically I'm from Pakistan, and I'll say it, Pakistan, just the way my daughter says it. Like, why you call it Pakistan? It's Pakistan. So
don't you love when our kids tell us how we're supposed to pronounce things? You're like, I'm from there.
Exactly, and she corrects us all the time, and I'm thankful for that. She says, like, you don't have to say it. It's like the way people say it here, but you tell it the right way. So I'm from Pakistan, and being Christian, and I'm a strong believer of Jesus Christ, and we moved here in 2008. So my uncle applied for us back in 1994. So my dad's younger brother, so he applied for us for immigration, and then we came here in 2008. So we waited almost like 14 years, and I was the only child, and my parents came along with me, and it was a big, long journey. So I was doing, I studied. I did my intermediate in computer science, then I switched it to business, and I studied marketing and all the fun part of business administration, and I never knew that I'll gonna be able to use it in real life. And that was it was like very like a fantasy world, or you can say like, hey, I want to be working with some brands or doing something, like I always get fascinated with, like billboards and advertising, cameras, and all the like action and stuff which goes behind it. So that got me into graphic designing, and I'm like, when I'll get someplace, this is what I want to do. That's like always my goal. And then I got admitted to master's degree, and then I we got our visa thing, and we came to US in 2008, where it was a recession time. It was a very, very hard time. So it was like March of 2008, we migrated here. And as so many people said, I came as soon as I can. So I'm a Texan from 2008, and I'm proud Texan.
So the saying is, I wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as soon as I could.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where my dad's side is all over here. So my two of my aunts are here. So we came and stayed with my aunt for like a couple of months, and then we moved to the colony here in Texas. So that's our primary home where we stayed, and we've been there for almost like we were there for almost like 10 years, 11 years. And I started my first job at Walmart as a cashier. Then I got promoted to electronics side because of my tech thing. I love doing like tech stuff. And then I was like, no, I need to do more than that. This is not something I am here for. There's like a lot of things going on in my life. My mom got sick and I had to take care of her. I was the only child. So I was like, no, I need to focus on my studies. I came because I was doing my master's over there and I left it. So I wanted to get my education complete. I was like, I want to get this thing done.
And were you able to do it
Yes. So
that way? That's cool.
I struggled. It took me some time, but I went to Texas Women's University and I got my double master's over there in health system management and business administration. So that was like my proudest thing, which I can say that, hey, I achieved what I came for. And that's like, if you see it like from a South Asian parent's perspective, it's very big thing that every parents want their kids to be at least educated and, be successful in their life. So after that, I met like really cool people and I went back. I had a friend who we were in like long distance relationship since I came in 2008, and she was a nurse back home. And I went back in 2011, got married, came back, and finished my degree.
Aww.
And 2 years later, she joined me in 2013. So it was hard. It was very, very brutal living apart from your better half, but we both had to sacrifice it because I couldn't go back because of my school. And she couldn't come because of the visa procedures and stuff. And
Because even if you're married, it takes a minute.
yes,
Yeah.
it takes at least and I was not a citizen at that time. I was on green card, so we had to go through, some time they had to wait. And then in 2013, we got our U.S. citizenship. And I'm a proud citizen. And I feel this country is my promised land. And I'm so thankful to God for that.
Aw, I
So-
love that. So you come here to the States, you get your master's degree. That's amazing. And so, but you're not doing photography, right? So at this point, have you kind of gone into corporate America doing more of what your degree was? Or tell us
Yes.
about that.
I started at Walmart, so I kept that on the side, and I started looking for better opportunities. And I've been to marketing, I've been to business calls, I worked at banks, I worked at mortgage companies, and at the end, I ended up at CVS. So it was like in a healthcare IT side. So I was hired. I got hired as a quality assurance analyst. So that's how I got into QA. And it was like during the time when I was going for my master's degree, and I was like, okay, this is something I want to do because I have like really good critical thinking and figuring out issues or finding issues, or if somebody do some work and I'm like, no, you have not done this correctly, let me help you, or let's fix it together, that kind of personality. So I'm a critical thinker and I try to critique or give my feedback and make sure things are good in the way they should be.
Yeah.
So
That's a good skill set for photography, right?
Yes.
Because I think one of the things people don't realize how technologically challenging good photography is, right? You can
Yes.
you can put you can just put your camera on automatic, but if you really want to adjust the right settings and okay, let me make sure for this setting I have to do it this way, I have to do that this way. Even here in the studio, the setup for our cameras, right? It requires a lot of research about what's the right shutter speed and what's the right. So I think that skill set probably helped you a lot in
yeah,
photography.
and it's like the small things, it's the small details where you maybe some people don't pay attention. They say like, okay, if you're taking a picture, there's a cup of coffee right next to you. Why you have to do it edit it in the post? Why can't you just move it away and just take 5 shots there? And rather than worrying about taking multiple pictures and at the end you have to deal with it. So definitely that quality or the work which I have been doing from last I think 13, 14 years. And that's where my like career is pretty much that's where I want to go up to like a management level position and higher.
Yeah.
So I'm embracing that, and I just like feel that this is like something I really enjoyed, and that's how my like technology career started. And then I finished my master's. I got into like I was not even thinking about like doing professional photography or anything like that. So my mom passed away in 2015, and I had to travel to a new job at AAA, and their office was in California. So I traveled for the first time out of Texas for a job interview, and then I stayed there for almost like 7 weeks at Costa Mesa, Newport Beach. So there, I just bought like randomly on, I think it was at Nextdoor or some app. I just like looked it up. I looked for a camera, and I bought like my first Canon T-series camera, and I'm like, okay. And that gave me like so much like fun stuff because I was going to the beach every day and going to different places. I had a rental car. I was like exploring places and doing stuff. And then I went to San Francisco to visit my cousin, and then I went to visit my friend in Seattle. So those trips made me, like take a lot of pictures. And then my wife came to see me, and we drove to Vegas. That was our first trip together, and we drove like back and forth the same day, same night. And it was a Labor Day weekend time in September. So we drove like 4 or 5 hours. We walked the whole strip, had a dinner, and went back because there was nothing for us. So we just took like a lot of pictures and like just had fun. We just wanted to like check the Vegas thing off of our list that okay, we have been here, but we're not planning to go back over there.
Yeah, Vegas is fun, but not if you're not a big party person or you want to stay up all night. And it's not. I've been sober for 10 years, so Vegas is like. Meh.
Yeah, so we don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't do any those kind of things. So for my only thing was because I'm very active, I'm very athletic. So for me, it was like going to the strip and looking at stuff and like walking and enjoying the buildings. We went to like Caesar Palace and a couple of other places, Bellagio, and we saw those and we were like, yeah, this is really cool. They look good. So we were like, one day we'll come maybe later sometime in life. But we couldn't even find any room or stuff because we were not even planning on staying. So we drove back. We took like more than 8,000 pictures.
Wow.
Roughly, I could say. So that was my first like camera, which I literally got it for like like taking pictures and stuff. And then from there, I started doing it. Like they had like company events and stuff, and our team building events and things. So I used to take like pictures and put them all together as like a highlight reel and stuff, and share it with my teams. And like even at AAA in what is the place in Dallas, we have the headquarters. So that's where I used to work. So I came back and I started working there, and I was totally the media guy, you can say, for the events at our location. So whenever we have any party or any birthdays, any events, I'm the guy who was like taking pictures and it like making the highlight reels and sharing it with the teams and stuff. And everybody was like, wow, that's really cool. So it started basically, I could say, at AAA, where I got the fear off that, okay, I can take pictures, people like what I capture, and I shared the videos and stuff like that. So that's like where it was there, but it was never in a professional way.
Yeah. So when did it kind of become a little bit more professional? Because it's all along, this is just sort of a side hustle.
Yeah. And back like last year around like this time, so my wife, she bought a Nikon D850, which with a prime lens, and she was like, she got it after like a year and a half of debate whether she get it or not. It was expensive, but she said, I want to get this specific camera, which is not going on sale ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So we went to our kids' last day of school, and I'm like, why don't we just take the camera with us and just like take some good pictures? If you say your camera is really good. So she was like, yeah, you should just take it. And I took some pictures, and she was shy. She was not like the person who want to do it like in public, but I was like, okay, kids come over here. I got all the teachers and, like with parents, and I took their pictures, and I came home. I just shared them, and I didn't had no Lightroom, nothing. I just like used the basic editing features, and I just did like some shadows and, like brightness adjustment, and I just posted the pictures, and parents loved it. They were like, wow, how did you did that? They're like, really, the pictures came really good. I'm like, wow, that's kind of cool. So one day I was just scrolling, and somebody posted on Nextdoor that, hey, I'm looking for a event photographer for our, our event. And I just messaged her like, hey, I can take care of your event photography. And what do you need and how many hours? And she asked me like, do you have a spec sheet or your portfolio? I'm like, I have a lot of work, but I never have anything like which I put it together. So she said, can you send me some of your work? And I've done like a lot of things like at work, with friends and families, like their events or things like that. And I took like pictures for my cousins. I did my cousin's wedding video reel for them. And I just like put it all together, send it to her. And she was like, okay, I'll let you know. And meanwhile, she's like, oh, so you don't have any website? I'm like, no, not yet. But she gave me an idea. And I'm like, okay, if I want to do this thing and somebody asked me, they like my work, but I don't have a place where I can put everything in there. So it took me like, I think 3 or 4 days to figure it out, how to get it like all together. And in a week or half, like in week and a half, I just put my website together, and I put some pictures which I've taken like in the past from my camera, also from my phone and stuff. And I just used it as my demo, and I just shared it with people. And I was like, hey, I'm here taking pictures, and if anybody wants some pictures, I'll be happy to take care of their graduation or anything like that. And that's how it started. And I was like waiting, and it was more kind of like just as a for sake of fun and just to enjoy the thing. Like, hey, I got a camera and I can go and take somebody's pictures. And I was not even planning to do it like professionally, but one lady came. She wanted to get her son's graduation pictures, so she asked me like, hey, can you able to take our son's graduation picture? So I live in Union Park in Little Elm. So I said, okay, you guys can meet me at this time. And it was like 12:30 or 2 in the afternoon. I would never ever ask anybody to come at that time, because I didn't knew that. Okay, the lights like.
That's the worst time for photography. I know, right? Now you know.
So I asked them to come, and it was like sweaty around like this time. And imagine like being outdoor, and they were like all sweaty, and I was trying to. The first funny thing which I think I did. I got my camera, I got like everything, the batteries and everything. I forgot the memory card in my computer. And it was like so embarrassing. Like I went to my first customer, and I asked them to wait. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot the memory card. Let me go and grab it. I went home. It was like 5 minutes away. So I went, I grabbed it, I came back, and I just took their pictures. I edited it as best I could, and I sent it to them. And the lady was happy with the results, and she said like, I'll pay you, but I don't have my budget right now, so I'll reach out to you when I can. Is it okay if I pay you later? I'm like, okay, that's fine. I was not even in hurry or rush or anything, but I was like, okay, that's fine. It's like how it probably works or something. I had no clue how to market myself, how much should I even charge. And I started looking at different photographers in the area, and I said like, okay, how much are they charging? What should be my pricing? And all that kind of fun stuff. And I just started adding price list and, like worked on that. Like, okay, this is the package I'm giving and stuff. And after that, I was at one of our community events, and I just like went with my camera, and I'm like, hey, let me go and take pictures. So I took the pictures for the community, and I shared it with the HOA people, and everybody was like, wow, they're really cool. You should do it like, do you do it like professionally? And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get into professionally, but I was not happy with the Nikon. I don't know, for some reason it was hard because it's just like a one prime lens, and I was like not getting the feel of it, like camera your camera should be like your body and soul connected.
Yeah.
It should feel like it should come naturally in your hands, and you're like. But if something you have to figure it out and you have to look it up, then it's not like the right equipment. So without the right equipment, you are, I would say, like you are not the right person
Yeah.
to do the right job. So I was like, I reached out to my wife's cousin, who's a videographer and photographer. His name is Azim, and he's in Pakistan. He's been doing it from last, like, I think 12, 13 years. So he reached out to me and he said, like, brother, you can just get this camera. It's a Sony. It's easy to use. We use like it all the time. Sony A7 III, what he recommended at that time. But I was like, why don't I get the A7 IV, which is a little bit newer model with a better functionality and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll go with this. You can tell me which lenses should I get. I had no clue what's a zoom lens, what's a prime lens at that time. And I just went with 85 for portraits and 28 to 75 with Tamron. I got that one. And that was my first basic lens kit, which costed me about like $5,000.
Yeah,
Roughly.
Trust me, I have all the lenses now, and I probably have. It's been 15 years that I've done this, full off and on full time, right?
Yes.
And I've probably got 30, 50, if you don't include lighting, $30,000 worth of gear. Maybe more, but with lighting, you're at least 50. And people always wonder, like, why is wedding photography so expensive? You're
Exactly.
like, I have $50,000 worth of gear, on my body now. That's why.
So now when I walk with at least like 10 to 15 grand easy. It's like I have two lenses, one camera body. I have my GoPro, like the Pocket Osmo Pocket 3, which I use for like BTS and all the other reels and stuff. Yeah. So it's easily like 10, 15 grand on you. So I was like not thinking. So for first time when I got that stuff, I was like, okay, now I got it. And I told my wife, like it was in June of last year, I'm like, hey, I'm going to invest in this. This is something which I want to do, and you have to support me. And she was like, I'm always supporting you, like I'm always there for you. You do your thing, just don't mess it up. And you will not mess it up, because she know that what kind of person I am. Because I strongly believe that God has given us a reason to be in this world. We all have like very special talents, and we use it to like do our thing while we are here. And it's something that I believe strongly that, like when you are trying to achieve something and you do it with whole heart, God knows your plans and he helps you. And I always put it's not me, it's him who take care of things. And I always, like whenever I go to even for my first or like the last shoot I recently did, I always pray, I always give credit to God, and even if I'm sitting here, it's because of him. I'm nobody, I'm nothing. He's the one. I say that if I am something, I'm only because my God is with me. If he's not with me, I cannot able to think about it. And my wife, she put trust in me, and she said, like, I know you will do really good. And I got the camera. I looked for different places where I can go and do, like free shoots, or, reach out to people. Hey, when I'm doing my portfolio, can I take some pictures? So we used to go to the martial arts place, and there are some black belts who volunteered. And I recorded them. I took their pictures. I posted it. That was like my first shoots, which I did. I charged them, but it was not like too much. Right. But it was just for my portfolio, so they get like really good pictures. And then I came to know about like the networking events. So I was like, okay, this is something I need to network with people, connect, and expand this business. If I'm not doing that, then I'm doing it wrong. Yeah. So I looked at YouTube videos. I played with my lens. I asked my kids to, be my models. And they're like, after 25 to 40 pictures, they're like, Daddy, when are we done? Okay, I'll get you one more Happy Meal or Subway or something. If you just wait for 5 more minutes, Daddy need to take.
Wait till they're teenagers. They won't let you take their picture at all. I don't have a picture of my son. It's been a couple years.
Yeah, my daughter is almost turning 9 this year, so she is like always like this. No, I'm like, okay, so you can do the John Cena thing to me, and her pictures are like, and she's very photogenic. My son is really photogenic. He's like, like I did like my first sports shoot with him, and I really loved it the way the pictures came. But it was in our garage. I was like, okay, this is like a cool place. I set it up. I went and I bought the lighting and like the big Godox soft boxes and stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's what I've got.
yeah, and the first time for me, it was aha moment when I was able to use my camera and trigger the flash. I've never experienced, because my wife was like, why don't you do just like lifestyle or like outdoor photography where you don't need the lights and stuff? I'm like, if you want to call yourself a photographer, you need to learn how to do flash photography.
Yeah.
And-
Off-camera lighting changes everything. And I can tell you
Exactly.
the amount you can charge is so much more because there's so many natural light lifestyle photographers out there, but it's a rare person who could figure out how to actually manipulate light to do what they want, and they get the premium dollar.
Exactly, and that's what I did. Like I recently did a shoot, and it was like outdoors, and I had just one light, and I used it, and it was kind of like the results came really, really cool, and the client was like, "Wow!" And she is a model, and she had like done it for other photographers as well, but she was really happy with the results, and I'm like, that's what it looks like when you learn your stuff. If you are just like going there and trying to figure it out on your thing, and you're not able to give your best, that comes with experience, and that's why you charge people. If you're not like equipped, or you don't know your stuff, then you feel like, whether should I charge somebody this much? Is it like realistic or not? But if you know your thing, you can ask for the right amount and right price, because you're providing that value which the other person may not be able to give it.
Yeah.
So then I started, we had like a martial arts event. It came back in August. So they asked me like, hey, would you like to come and cover our event? I'm like, yeah, I'll be happy to do it. And how much are you going to pay? They're like, we're not paying you anything. I'm like, really? So how long do you want me for? Said, only 7 to 8 hours. It's going to be like a whole day. You come at 7 in the morning and you leave when we leave. So I was like, okay, I'm a student at your dojo, but it's not like that I'm going to do it for free. And I just laugh with our master. He's such an awesome guy. And I give credit to him, because if he wouldn't have like given me that opportunity, I don't think I would be able to say that I was going to go and get more comfortable with dealing with people, taking more pictures. So I went with my 85. I had my Tamron on there, and I said, okay, we can do something like that I'll take the pictures, and if parents would like to buy, or any participants, they want to purchase it, they can do it. So he was like, yeah, that's fine. We're okay with that. So I went in there, and I set up my lights and everything, and I just had like a section for them to, when they get their medals and stuff. So we set up this thing, and it was in Flower Mound. So I drove like, I think 7 in the morning. I was there, and it ended at like 3:30 to 4 o'clock. And constantly I had 2 batteries. I already spent a lot, and now I have to get an extra battery. I have to get like extra memory card. And people don't know that those small things, they add up.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me with memory cards. There are memory cards stuffed in every crevice of every bag. I probably have 30 memory cards, and my cameras have 2 different types.
Yeah,
everywhere, and they're expensive,
They're
right? You
very
get the good
expensive.
ones, and then you get slow ones.
Yeah.
And the camera will slow down if you don't have the good ones, and
Yeah.
so yeah, they're expensive. I have probably 10 batteries, if not more.
Yeah. So
right?
I got like 5 now. Right
Yeah.
now, I use 5. Anywhere I go, I at least carry 4 with me, and I have like 4 to 6 different size memory cards. And because I started to get into videography now, so it's like I'm gonna be spending more money. So I did like the whole event. I took more than 8,000 pictures in about like 8 hours. It was like a lot of work. And I came home and I started like working on them right away. So it took me 2 days to get every single picture pretty much like edited and doing the coloring and all that stuff. And I shared the gallery and I asked him like, hey, how much should I charge the parents? And he was like, just come up with something which they'll be, it's not like going to be too much because parents are already paying for the testing and all that stuff. So I came up with some kind of good pricing, and I at least made one lens worth of money doing one tournament, and that gave me a boost, and I'm like, yes, I can do this.
That's amazing. So, what kind of photography do you like the most?
So initially I was looking for what I should do. I should go and do the family portraits. I should get into like headshots. But I believe like I'm really good with the events photography. So I go as an event photographer where I go in there. I don't have to deal with one single person specifically. I've done like a couple of sessions with family photography and, like with the families. It's kind of like hard, mostly when they're like 4 or 5 kids, and one kid is upset because they don't wanted to wear something else, and mommy said this or daddy wanted to do this, and it's kind of like it's a very limited time, and kids usually don't get that part, and to make it work with them, it's a little bit hard. Not like that I am not good at it. I've done like 4 or 5 so far right now, and it went really, really good. I make the kids laugh. I give them like a, because I have kids that makes it easy for me. So I tell them my kids' jokes or something, and they were like, if somebody's not feeling good, like recently I did like one with a couple. They had like a daughter and a son, and the daughter was upset because her clothes were not what she wanted. And I told her like, okay, why don't we do your pictures first and let's forget about them. And I made her feel the princess, and she was like, oh, this is so nice. And then she came and then I told her, look, they brought you here, and they're doing, your mom and dad are doing it so much for you guys. So at least they deserve a hug. So when she was going, and I took a picture of her going to her parents, and that was like, I put their title picture, and they loved it. And they even wanted to get it like framed and big because it was kind of like a very candid moment. And that's what I shoot usually. Like I don't specifically say my customers to pose like this or that. Sometimes I do that, but mostly it's like candid, raw emotions. That's what I love to capture.
And those little kids, man, they're not going to sit the way you want them to sit anyway. You can try to pose them all day long, and they're not going to do it. And I tell parents this all the time, even when I was doing a lot more photography. Like, look, if your kid is crying the whole time, that's just where you are in life right now.
Yeah.
And we're just going to capture where you are in life right now. And it's not going to be, it might not be the Hallmark card picture, but that's who you are.
And that's the
next
emotional.
year we'll get the Hallmark picture. And
Yeah.
but sometimes that's just, life is messy, and your pictures sometimes are going to reflect that, and that's okay. And they're not going to do what you want them to do.
And sometimes parents don't even like when you tell them something and they're like not comfortable with doing that. So for me, it's more kind of like I want to get more into corporate and, like the world where I reach out to businesses. I'm trying to get, because that's like, I feel that's my strong side, being like a marketing, like major. And I understand how business works and, like what their needs are. Like where if I'm doing the ribbon cuttings, I've done like mostly ribbon cuttings and, like some of the events for the businesses. And I really enjoyed it, like meeting new people. I would have never thought that I was going to go and meet the mayor of different cities. I lived in the colony for almost like 10 years, and Little Elm was right across. So we have been in Little Elm for the last 5 years, 4 years. I didn't know who our mayor was, but now through different, my photography got me to that point where I'm able to go and meet really cool people who run our cities, and like I'm really excited, and like that's so cool.
Yeah, I think there's a special kind of person who loves event photography, and I was one of them too, right? I would do family pictures, and same when I was a full-time photographer, I started I'm going to do families, and I didn't even know that brand photography existed at the time, but I was going to do just families, and then a friend was getting married, and she's like, "Come do my wedding," and I was like, instantly fell in love with it, the chaos and the I have to be technologically accurate at a moment's notice, because if I miss it, it's gone, right? And it's a totally different kind of photography than family or portraits, where you can take 10 pictures of the same thing and hopefully one of them's right? Change things up.
Exactly.
You can't. The bride's only walking down the aisle
One
once,
time.
and that's over. 30 seconds later, it's over, and if you didn't get it, you're screwed. Which has happened to me.
It happened to me too. Like I got hired. So I used to go to the networking events, and there I met one of the guy. He was with like the drones, and he do the videography.
Okay.
And he asked me that, Waqar, why don't you come? If I have any photography needs, I'll reach out to you. I'm like, yeah, sure, definitely. So he and we both got connected back in August of last year. So he asked me to come and do like an event he was covering, and it was like in Edison. It was an airport thing. So they had like they make the hangars for the airplanes. So that was his client. I went there. He paid me roughly, and he said like, okay, I want you to come here for 1 hour. Just take as many pictures you can and just send it to me, and then I'll give it to client. So I went there. I didn't even want to go. He didn't told me the address till the last day. And I get that part, because he was probably thinking like, hey, he might steal my client or something. But he just sent me, and at 9 in the morning, he called me like, dude, are you coming? I'm like, what time is it? He was like, it's at 11 in Edison. I'm like, oh, okay. Just send me the address. I'll be there by 11. And I went in there. It was Saturday. I spent like 2.5 hours. I took like a lot of pictures. I took like even pictures of other people mingling around and the whole show. And I just came home. In the evening, I edited all the pictures, and they were done, sent to him. And he was like surprised. He was like, usually I never get pictures till like 2 weeks from the day of event. How did you did that? I'm like, that's the way I roll.
Yeah.
I don't want to let my clients wait. And because I was not in a hurry to get my payment, but I was more kind of like, that's like the efficiency. Like I want to give the efficient work to my clients. Whoever hire me, they will get their pictures maybe next day or a day after that, the max.
Yeah.
So that's like where I sell my stuff in a way that if you're trying to hire me, you can trust that your pictures will come good, and you'll get them faster. And so he really loved it. He was like, I'm really happy with the results. The client loved it. And he said, like, I'll use you for my other, projects. So he got 2 or 3 different projects for me, and I worked with him. And that's how I did, like, grand opening for the Goats Arena. And there I met the Little Elm Chamber folks.
And that's how we met, was through the Little Elm Chamber.
Yes.
Shout out to you guys at the Little Elm Chamber.
Woo-hoo!
We love you guys. Yeah. And I think, you mentioned it earlier, networking and getting out there and meeting people. And, you get a couple of those referral sources, right? Like you get a couple happy clients, and it starts growing, it just grows on itself from there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I strongly believe in that, like when you deliver good product, your work will be seen. And when somebody see your work and they really love it, they'll reach out to you no matter what. And that's how I got an email from Chelsea, and she was like, hey, Gill, we met you at Goats. Would you like to come and do our annual award gala? And that was like a big thing for me. And I was like, at that point, I was only thinking about making that much money where I can able to cover my equipment cost, and then I'll gonna see what I'm gonna be doing. But then I got that opportunity, and I was like, okay, yeah, definitely, I'll be happy to do it. And then they hired me, and you have seen me in action.
Yeah, I was there
And
that night.
and I was all over every place. Like I was trying to capture the whole entire. About like 200 people were there, so I was capturing everyone. And Chelsea just asked me to give her just the winners' pictures, like the people who won the awards. So she wanted me to just edit those and send it to her by next day, so they can post it. So I went home at like around 11ish, 10, 11 somewhere. I reached home, and the kids were like already in bed with mom. So I was like completely, I had like freedom. So I was in my room. I changed, I took shower, and then I just got back to my laptop, and I was like, this is my moment. I want to do good stuff. And I spent about like 4 hours at 2:30, or around like 2:30. I was done with about, you can say, roughly 700 plus pictures. I edited them, and I picked like 300 top out of those 700, and I created a gallery, and I waited for Chelsea. And in the afternoon, she reached out to me and she said, like, Gil, are you done with the award pictures? Can you please send it? And I sent the email to her right away. I was like, hey, I just sent you the gallery. Let me know what you think. She was like, but I just asked for just like the award pictures, but you just send me the whole gallery. So it was like not even a whole day, and they got their whole pictures. And that is the thing where I invested. Before that, I got 70 to 200 GM lens, which I was very much like thinking about it. Like I was trying not to get it, but I wanted to get like a good zoom lens.
Yeah, those lenses are expensive. I have one. It's yeah.
So, but I saved for it, and I was like, no, this is something. If I want to do it, I will do it right. And I wanted to get into sports photography, and then as soon as I did the Chambers event, I got another event. I reached out to somebody at local martial arts place, and they said, like, we are doing a tournament. Would you be able to come and cover it for us? I'm like, yeah, sure. And here is the pricing and all that. And they said, yeah, that's fine. We are okay with that. And now from the last experience, I already know what to expect. And I went in there, spent about like 6 hours, and I was capturing the moments and stuff, and the pictures came so beautiful. And the lady,
it's so fun, isn't it?
Yes.
I think photography. I think it's so fun, and the one thing that I want out of any job, whatever it is, or anything I do in life, I like having something that I can hang on the refrigerator at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And photography like checked all those boxes, right? Opportunity to be entrepreneurial, get to be around people, right? Like a little bit frenetic. I like a little frenetic, right? But then I get to hang something on my refrigerator at the end of the day.
And I usually, like, whenever I do a shoot and come and edit my stuff, I always put it on my wallpaper and stuff, and my wife or my kids usually come and they see it. So for me, that's what I was just talking to my daughter. I'm like, this is something which I'm building right now. It's not just for myself. I want it to be a legacy. I want you guys to be my helpers, and I want to transfer this something to you, and you can do it. Is even if it's like a side hustle, it's something like you're just doing it on the side, but you can still make money with it. You can have it as a profession. You can do so many things. Like photography will take you to different places to meet, like different people in life. Like I just recently did Ian Moonsick's concert. I was there to take just the pictures. I just went there in the colony, and the pictures came really, really good. And I met I think it was a director of some advertising company, and I took their picture. They were just dancing the Texas two-step dance, and I took their pictures, and they were like really amazed, and they were like, "Wow, you did so good, man." Mm-hmm. So,
have you learned how to two-step yet?
Not yet. And
no, I want to learn.
So now I'll tell you, right there, I took a picture of a guy. He was dancing with a girl, and I didn't know he was an instructor. And my best moment is when I take somebody's picture, and after I share the gallery or send it to them, and that picture becomes their profile picture.
Yeah, I love that.
That gives like the satisfaction. Hits right here. It's like the biggest thing. Like it's more than any compliment. It's more than any like thing which makes you high or a kick or something. People say it, but for me, it's like when your work, you see it at other person's profile. That it's the picture I took. They put it on their profile, and it speaks volume.
As a wedding photographer, I still have clients. They're all right around their 10-year anniversary right now. When I was really, really, heavily working on it, like 8 to 12 years or so of marriage, and they always post a wedding picture on their anniversary, and I'm always like so honored, right? And they always, it's such a special relationship. Like they always tag me, right? And they're like, "Oh, thank you to Sherry for our pictures." And this is 10 years ago or something. So. I just think there's something really special about doing events.
And doing this makes you feel that this is something in you, and you're getting a chance to show your creativity. It's not just like like your bunch of people are standing there and you're just randomly going. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody have that guts to go and like I was at a ribbon cutting few weeks ago, and there was a mayor of Farmers Branch, and they were like talking. They were just like people were waiting, and then they were like trying to get him to talk, and like look at them and see like if they can able to take a picture or something with them. I'm like, hey, why don't you just go in? And I was like, sir, excuse me, do you mind if we can take a picture with you? They want to take a picture with you, I think. So it was like, yeah, sure. And it's kind of like the thing which I believe I'm not that shy. I can talk to anybody. I can even talk to a dead person and make him laugh or something. So for me, it's more kind of like I have that personality. I can talk. I can just like to reach out to people and like ask them or share something if it's on my mind. If somebody's like holding a cup, and I can definitely say, hey, do you mind if you just like put it down or something? I can just take a better picture without it. And I've seen like some places there are like people who just like take pictures. They don't edit it. They don't do anything. They just post it straight out of camera pictures. And I feel like, oh, this is something like it's not a good thing because it makes other photographers' work feel like you're not doing a good job. Like anybody can take a picture. Like even my 9-year-old can do a awesome like I've been teaching her, and she's been like really good with getting to know the angles, how to stand, where the light should be, and looking into those kind of things. And she can do a good job. But what you do after you take a picture is another story. You need to work on it. You need to, set the exposure, set the white balance, and you need to color grade it and do all the fun stuff, which mostly people sometimes don't do it. And then they just post it like they're in so much hurry, and they post it. And sometimes like now with AI, it's more kind of like a competition we are facing. That's like a challenge. But I'm using AI to enhance the work. So recently I started using like AI features in Lightroom, in Evoto. So I'm trying to be more, because these are the things we need.
Yeah.
And if we don't,
I love the glamour, it's glamour portrait.
Yes.
AI filter on, because it doesn't change you that much, right? It just does a little, just a little smoothing. And,
yeah. I would love that's what I tell when I do pictures. I'm like, hey, I'll do the best I can, but I'm not gonna make you look like an alien or a person who you are not. If you want me to take a picture, I'll definitely do my best to make you look good, and I want to bring up the real you, the beauty inside you. It doesn't matter if you have freckles, if you have acne. I'll try to help you fix that part. I'll soften it, but I'm not gonna make you do all blurred up. And when people see you in person, they'll be like, "Oh, who's this guy?" Like I want the realism. Like a lot of people, they talk about like my beard. They say like, "Hey, why you have like the white beard? You're just only 40 years old and stuff." I'm like, I embraced it. This is like natural. I don't wanna be faking it with my age or just putting something on there and just saying like, hey, that's not me. This is natural. I should accept that, So I try I do like the best what I can to make people look good, and I think that's where the line or the boundary comes where when we see AI is turning people into different kind, like when they are not the real
Yeah, it's good to enhance. It's not to replace.
replace. Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I agree. So where can people find you if they want to hire you for their next event?
So they can go to my website. It's called thegillstudios.com, and they can look me over there, and they can reach out to me via Instagram. It's called thegill.photography for the Instagram, and they can look it up on Facebook. It's called The Gill Photography, and they can look it up and hire me and see what I can bring to the table. So
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the show.
it's my pleasure.